Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Weil here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
Dragon, I know what we're going to do today. We're going to activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right, in honor of the 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival, I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 here through the series, experiencing his reactions, watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories throughout the years. Today's episodes are Ferbland and Latkes. So, first things first, the boys create a brand new language, and Doof tries to spread some propaganda. How you feeling on this one, Dragon?
Well, I'll tell you. I think the analogy for this one, to borrow the old crooner analogy, it's not the night to record the album.
What do you mean?
It's not a good episode.
Yeah, I mean, I was even tempted to ask before this. It's like, but you can see why this pairing is pretty much my least favorite throughout the whole show, right? So far.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I will say in hindsight, I mean, before I'll let
or
you.
Is it hindsight?
Yes, I mean, I will say they're not as bad as I remember them to be, but they're definitely just kind of boring and not very interesting to me, even on a rewatch. You know what I mean?
Actually, not certified fresh on the Dukelberry meter.
It's like at first, Awkward Ted says I don't think episode can beat the second Clatastic Ganto of Kelly Osbourne. Yeah, I mean that's kind of in a gray area as far as like official episodes go.
Yeah, she's no beloved Kelly. There's only two of those.
Hey, Kelly Clarkson.
Well, no, I meant Gene and Gene and who?
Yes, I know, but there is a Kelly Clarkson is in this show.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying Kelly Osbourne is not a beloved Kelly.
I know, but I'm just saying, like I said, as far as like official episodes go, I mean, that one's kind of in a gray area, and it's not even on Disney Plus anyway. So, counting that, I'd probably still say this is probably my least favorite pairing of episodes.
Is it your least favorite episode? This one specifically?
I mean, probably this one and both of them. But the fact that both of them are together kind of bring this whole week down.
Yep.
I mean, thinking around, the idea of creating a method of communication is kind of interesting, but they just don't really explore a lot of creative avenues with it in this case. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's just personally me, and I'll get into the next one in a bit. Next one, well, we'll see. So, Dragon, shall we just get into the episode, or do you have anything else to say about it?
No, let's do it. Let's get into it.
All right. Okay. So, Ferblatten begins in the backyard, as you always do.
Yeah. So the boys just, like, frankly, with the writing here, the boys just randomly invent Ferblatten.
Yeah, just basically a bunch of hand gestures and everything. Like I said, it's gestures and noises and things like that to do that, and all that. Like I said, there's some fun to be had with there, but it's like, as Aquadad points out, it is basically just Pig Latin.
Yeah,
it is Pig Latin with basically just some extra steps and gestures.
Yep.
And instead of just ending with A, it ends with herb.
See, too much of a thinker for a gag in my book. The fact that we need a literal chart to spell it out just kind of signifies, actually, you know what? Let's tell them ourselves.
You mean, is it you need to have a word with the boys?
I think so. Not the boys you're thinking of.
I'm thinking of Dan and Swampy.
Well, no, I know. To the audience, the boys they're thinking of, are, yeah.
What if they're thinking of Dan and Swampy too?
Just put them on the screen.
All right, I'm just taking the wind out of your sails, Dragon. It's fine.
Dan, Swampy. you'd think in the writer's room at some point when the phrase is uttered, and then Ferb gets out a chart that spells out how this whole Ferb Latin concept works, we might not be telling this story in the most economic fashion. We might not be doing our jobs as storytellers at peak, at kind of our peak here, at kind of our optimum kind of proficiency. Just it feels like we gotta stop, we gotta explain, we gotta bring out a flow chart. I'm not poo-pooing the flow chart. I'm just saying the fact that it's not just the initial charts. The fact we do it there, so the audience could hopefully follow along, and then okay, everyone they meet, they're gonna have to explain this to before it kind of ends up like practically a game of telephone or something before it catches on. Where it's like, okay, and then we're gonna have to spell it out for the ice cream guy. It's like, man, we're really slowing this episode down. It's the exposition episode. It's the explaining things episode. And it's all dialogue based. Where's the build? There's no build. I think there's something right there. The fact that there's no build.
It's just them going to
Dan Swampy. What the heck? Where's my build?
It's like creating an abstract concept kind of is an interesting idea for an episode, even something as elaborate as a created language. But
where are my gadgets, Swampy?
Well, remember, Dragon, so far some of your favorite episodes just involve them making food.
Well, okay, fine. Let's still get a culinary invention. Where are my inventions, Poffenmeyer?
But yeah, as I said, definitely not one of their more interesting ideas.
Yeah, it's just whoever pitched the whole. It's gonna be a lot of talking for the episode, because that's what the kids want. They want lots and lots of dialogue, and not even just that. They want kind of a lampooning of Pig Latin, because that's what the kids love. They love Pig Latin.
It's like well, doing it. I mean, I will play devil's advocate on that here. It's like a lot of shows are dialogue heavy, and even this show relies on a lot of dialogue and all that.
Look, I'm not going dialogue. I'm saying wall to wall dialogue, Jacob. It's like Frasier is wonderful and witty, but they do also have the Kells making priceless facial reactions, and with his pomposity, or David Hyde Pierce and getting a bird stuck to his head. Sometimes you get a little something,
like and like I said, but as I said, Pig Latin though is when people and kids obviously do know what Pig Latin is, but now it doesn't sound
we've all seen Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Lay in the egg bay.
Or lay in the bag bay. Maybe you should take a minute and Idre your ipscray.
God, I love that outtake.
Me too. I love all the outtakes, really.
You gotta wonder now, do you think that was improvised, or do you think that one was just them in the booth and they decided to animate to it?
Probably that one.
Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah. Now, thankfully, there was a saving grace to this episode, aside from all this boring dialogue.
And that is?
Norm!
Seriously,
Jacob, you tell me, has there ever been a bad Norm episode?
Well, there's one that's not one of my favorites, but I wouldn't call it bad.
I mean, did Norm contribute to it not delivering? Was Norm in rare form?
Norm was actually pretty good in that.
There you go. Okay, Norm, beloved icon.
No, and where is Norm Dragon? We haven't done in a while. It's Doof and Schmertz
Evil Incorporated.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, we're a little rusty, folks, but so is the episode, so we're okay.
Well, what better time to get our practice in then?
Yeah. It's like a choir meeting. It's a whole,
Really, I think really the only time we got like that in gritty reboot time ever perfect was when we did Across the Second Dimension.
I guess so.
Well, it was the movie, so I guess we brought out all the stops for that one.
There you go. All right, so I think so Norm is very key to Doofenshmirtz's plot this time around, or Doofenshmirtz's plot is propaganda.
Speaking of not creating an innate of invention,
we're breaking all the rules, and I think it worked to varying degrees here. And by that, I mean it only worked with the propaganda thing.
It's like people apparently believe everything they read.
Here's the thing. So I love the propaganda thing, but it does contribute. The fact we don't have an inator might be the reason the episode kind of flops.
because it just relies on everyone just being like, just believing what they're just like catching on to a new language. They're like, talk normal.
Yep. Of course, you can't spell normal without norm.
Norm.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, it's like kind of just like a hand. I will say a lot of the endings could be hand wave, but this is like one of the biggest hand waves there is.
Well, not just a hand wave, it's slap.
That too, yeah.
I will say this. I think the best joke in this episode is Norm's heartbroken reaction when Doof says, "Well, at least this inator doesn't have a self-destruct switch."
He's like, "You do have a self-destruct button. I just hit it so you can one pick at it."
It's such a good joke. Just Norm. Now even that great joke, but there's a problem.
What is that?
Okay, here's the problem. Great joke, love it, but the whole rest of the episode, Norm has a button on him.
Yeah, but not the self-destruct button.
No, yes, but you see the point of like we have a gag talking about a button, and it's about okay, well we hope Harry's gonna foil Doofenshmirtz, and usually there is a self-destruct button. So I'm saying I think there's like a reasonable assertion there, and we're not delivering on it. I don't want Norm to get blown up, but that's what I'm saying. It's like
Well, Norm doesn't blow up. More than times he does the blowing up.
Yep.
Especially in a future episode.
It is kind of a fun, cheap joke. Fun. I don't know. It was kind of a cheeky joke, one could say. Doofenshmirtz, when he uses basically has to talk in Norm's butt. Which I think that's intentional. I think that's a joke. You're like, yeah.
He's not speaking off his ass. He's speaking to somebody else.
Which I think is like a pun based on the whole propaganda thing, which most propaganda is. People like in the whole misinformation campaign, so they're talking out of their. Well,
Yeah. Well, instead he's talking to somebody else's, or into somebody else's.
It's kind of like a reverse engineered Ace Ventura. Yep.
Oh God. Yeah, and heaven knows we need more of those.
It's a really dirty joke I could make right now, but I'm not going to.
Okay. Now, I wish I knew is it Ace Ventura related or?
Well, it's kind of it's a cross between Ace Ventura and the Grinch.
Oh no. I'm kind of tempted to. But you can at least tell it to me off air.
Okay, I'll tell it to you off air.
Like if you don't want to say it here, you don't have to.
No, I don't. Well, I don't want to sully it.
Okay.
Anyway. So the plan is everyone's gonna believe what they read. This is like I read it somewhere.
Yeah, man. So clearly it works on Doof, and then he prints like slap yourself. He reads it and he slaps himself.
So I love this episode when you look at it, the reason it doesn't deliver is it's missing. Each plot line is missing like a key structural component. Okay, Doofenshmirtz is more the broad tradition of there's no inator, so nothing wrong really with his plot. His plot's the least affected. There's no inator, but it's kind of like the whole it's the lucky it's a good luck charm not being there.
Like where the boys just create a language and it catches on.
Yeah, and the boys, meanwhile, again they're there's no invention, there's no real kind of an actual. Nothing is made by hand.
Yeah.
And then Candace is the third of the triangle here.
She apparently tries to go relax in a massage. She finally takes her mom's advice and goes to relax in a massage place.
Well, the problem here is there's nothing to bust. There's literally nothing for her to bust.
And then
even if she did bust, then what did they do? They invented a language. What? It's
like that's just one of the few times where I'm like, okay, Candace, that's a bit much. They just created a language that caught on. It's like maybe it's a bit annoying and over the top, but it's no reason to get them in trouble.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Really, that's the 3-strike policy right there. It's 3 strikes and the episode's doomed. Doom on you.
And outside of here's the thing. Outside of that, overall the episode just kind of boring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, I mean, not much else interesting happens in this episode, to be honest.
No, that's the thing. It's just the Phineas and Ferb plot is kind of dumb and pointless. The whole joke is explained. And
I mean,
then we have
and the like saying goodbye with like the raspberry in the initial one like goes on for like 30 seconds.
just not their best stuff. Just not remotely their best stuff. I mean, we have the whole Candace and Twilight Zone kind of gag, but it's like it's
I
kind of
mean, if that kind of joke had just carried on instead of her just trying to bust them for it, it would have been funnier.
Hmm.
Like, just thinking she woke up in like in Crazy Town or something. It's, instead of just trying to focus on busting the boys, just wondering what the heck was going on.
yeah,
I think that probably would have saved it a bit.
a little bit, yeah. Anyway, so Norm goes down. Again, lack of invention, but we do have like Norm kind of flying like a plane, and he like pour the fuel out, and he just goes down. But on the way down, he printed out all these talk normal, and it worked out, and Doom ends up slapping himself. So there you go.
Well, that's how it interacts. Like, in a strange twist of fate, they're Phineas and Ferbs and Doofus were just kind of intertwine and undo each other.
Yeah. All right, before we move on to the next episode, let's shout out some comments.
All right, where do you want to shout out with?
Aquatad, I forget if you brought this up earlier or not. Did you bring up the Pixar one?
Then, well, I think we were talking about when we're talking about the bloopers. Like, we need.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, did you shout as a comment out?
No, I didn't. We need Pixar bloopers back. Agreed. It would be nice.
It'd be nice. I mean, it's the weirdest thing. The reason they stopped doing the bloopers was Andrew Stan's the one who actually made the call. But he still added like a little bit of something. Like technically, I want to say Andrew Stan was the first one to have a mid-credit scene because we have the Aqua Scum.
Like, we're free, yeah. Now what?
Yeah, exactly. So, basically we had that, and we had Beyond the Sea, and we had like some interacting during the credits. So we kind of had like some kind of a fill-in for the bloopers. But that was like they kind of stopped doing the bloopers because again it was like Nemo was kind of a. I mean, well, I'm not saying it was like a direly serious film or a drama, but
it was more decidedly more serious than the previous films up to that point.
Basically, Nemo was again not intentionally, but just kind of like there was kind of a vibe. I think Stan kind of picked up on by the end is that it was the big leagues. They're kind of in the big leagues. There's no real. Maybe we should grow up a little from the bloopers. It's a lot easier. Basically, the whole reason for the bloopers was messing with the audience who have at that time had no idea how computer animation worked. And by circa Nemo, it's out there. Animation's like Pixar has kind of lit the fire under the industry, and everyone else is doing these things. Again, you have like their main competition being DreamWorks and Shrek. At that time, Shrek 2.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like with it coming the following year, but you know what I mean. The point being, like the fuse was kind of lit. So basically, it's like we can't just keep joking about like, okay, so Toy Story is actually like shot like a film production or A Bug's Life, and vice versa.
Monsters Inc. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, believe me, I love the bloopers, and I think Brad Bird had a really good idea, and I wonder
he put it on the DVD bonus features.
Well, that's the thing. He put the animation bloopers though, not the in-universe bloopers. That was an interesting idea. I wonder, do you think that could have been like something to put in theaters?
I think,
or is it pure like a DVD sort of thing? That's obviously it fits a DVD, but I wonder if like do you think there's like a viability there?
Well, I mean, on one hand, you would put the bloopers like behind the scenes and some animators having fun and all that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you miss out on the end credits score. So
yeah,
you miss out on Michael Giacchino's score. So there's that.
That's yet another thing with the bloopers too.
It's like you have to admit, interrupting the in credits score would be a crime. Interrupting that would be a crime against humanity.
I think you're right about that. But that's what I'm saying. Like by that point, they kind of had the thing. Okay, we're going to give them something to watch during the credits, which we had like the great kind of like the essentially the art direction version of The Incredibles, which had like the geometric shapes along with the Giacchino score, which looks great, which kind of works like almost like animating musical notes if you look at it.
I mean, that could have worked too, but the stylized 2D credits are something else, something
No, I'm
great.
saying that's what they did. That's essentially what plays during the credits. Yeah,
And I'm just saying, I think they made the right choice in that regard. Then.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like it when they do stuff like that. I mean, the closest thing we've gotten to the bloopers since was, we've had again Cars doing a mid credits.
It's like, wait a minute, they're getting the same actor over and over. What kind of cut production is this?
That's what I'm saying. So they evolved from the bloopers. I love the bloopers, but I think it's kind of hard to go back to them. I absolutely get why. It's like it's funny, but then you're kind of stretching the believability too. Where again we have mid credits now.
But they should bring back like if actors like flub a line, they should include like a blooper reel. Then they should at least do that in like the home releases or put them on bonus features on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Put them on the home release by all means, or do something like that.
We live in the dark age of bonus features.
Yes, but thankfully Pixar has they've been combating that. The Pixar's still doing the comment with one glaring exception. Pixar's still doing the commentaries and everything.
I believe you mentioned it was Luca.
Yeah, and it really bums me because I love Luca, man. I really wanted to learn more about that movie, and it's just like because that's a personal movie for Casarosa. I really
Yeah, maybe his next movie then.
I mean, yeah, but it's not gonna,
it's not the same. I know.
Because we're still missing. I'm a completionist, man.
I know.
Anyway, here's the thing. I mean, what impressed me is like because of the whole Disney deal, Cars and Ratatouille initially did not have commentary, but then when they did the Blu-rays, they went back and they gave a commentary. Unfortunately, Luca doesn't have that luxury unless they do like some sort of fancy re-release, which I don't see them doing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we should do some of the other comments. We got a little bit sidetracked on the Pixar stuff there. So, imagine if the creators opened the mailbox under messages from Dragon and Jacob landed on them. Well, we'd have to write physical stuff for that to happen. And like I said, I did try and point some of this stuff out to Olivia Olson, but unfortunately, I don't think she's watched us yet.
She's still not returning our calls.
No, unfortunately not. It'd be an amazing moment for you guys if they ever respond back with all the messages you give them. Yep, it would, Little Blue. It would.
I would respect them for that.
It's like, well, at least Dan is active on social media, so maybe I could get him one of these days.
Maybe.
It's like, and talking about the Piglet, and they're bringing up like CG's like, I like the Teen Titans Gubs where they use a language that's literally made by pigs, and Aquatet agrees. It's like, so who knows? Maybe they did an episode of Pig Latin better than this show did. I mean, I can see that, I guess. I don't know.
I wouldn't use Teen Titans Go as a barometer of like how to do anything right. I don't know.
If you separate from the original show, Dragon, I actually find it a very enjoyable, funny cartoon.
Well, yeah, if you completely separate from the original show, but what's the point?
Well, because it's not meant to be the original show. It's completely established to be in a separate universe, and it's not meant to be taken seriously.
Separate universe or no, it's still the fact that, like, why call those characters if they're just going to be fun, wacky cartoon characters? And it's like, okay, that's not Robin at all, and yet he's voiced by Scott Menville. He's styled to look exactly like that Robin, and he's not acting like that Robin. I feel kind of gypped. I feel this is just like a bunch of guys hanging out. That's fine and dandy, but don't call them the Teen Titans if they're not going to fight crime.
I see that as part of the joke.
How is that? I don't really get the joke.
Well, that's, I guess, your problem.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
I'm not going to say it's not meant to be. I'm not going to say it's like.
Look, they don't have to listen to me. Clearly, it's working for them. Clearly, it's successful. It's paying the voice actors. I don't mind. Let them do whatever they're gonna do. But I'm just saying,
I'm not saying you're gonna lie. You have to like it. I'm just saying. I just think it's in one of the shows that is too overhated. That's just me.
All right. Yeah.
It's just I'm not. Am I gonna say it's fantastic? No, but if it's on and there's nothing else on and I watch it, I'm probably gonna get a few chuckles out of it. And I say if it does that, I say it's completed its mission. And there are some legitimately creative ideas in there somewhere.
Emphasis on somewhere.
I mean, and the movie is actually really good.
Hey, look, I will give it praise when it's there, and the praise is the non-Teen Titans stuff in the Teen Titans Go movie is really funny. I'll give it that. It's good stuff. But like, I draw the line at the Teen Titans killing Batman's parents. I draw the line there.
Oh, come on.
That's not funny to me. Like, hey, we're gonna orphan Superman and kill Batman's parents.
Well, to be fair, they tried to save them first, and then to correct the timeline, they had to do it.
No, just the glee at which, yeah, go down this alley and get murdered. Come on.
All right, Dragon, let's move on.
All right, anyway. More importantly, Aquatad says, I voted for you, Kevin.
Yes. I don't know what that's a reference for. Maybe it's when we were talking about propaganda, but it was about 10 minutes ago, and I don't know if there was
is it a future Phineas and Ferb reference, or
it's already been an episode, Dragon.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, right. That was
in Nerds of a Feather.
Right.
They're talking zebras. Like, I voted for you, Kevin.
Well, not that's what I'm saying. I know that the zebra calls Candace Kevin. What I meant is he literally said, "I voted for you" in that episode.
Like in Nerds of a Feather, he's how the zebras appeared a couple times before that, called her Kevin. In Nerds of a Feather, what she thought was like a lucid dream, he appeared and was like, I voted for you, Kevin.
Yeah, I guess what I'm getting is I thought the whole "I voted for you, Kevin" thing would have been in that thing where Candace, she won the essay contest.
No, that wasn't in that one. It's but it was referenced in Across the Second Dimension when the zebra was seen on one of the other dimensions reading a newspaper that said Kevin wins elections.
There you go.
So apparently in a different universe, there's a Candace lookalike named Kevin.
Yeah.
Or who knows?
Just like Lewis Lane.
Speaking of which, I just started watching My Adventures with Superman.
How far are you?
Halfway through the first episode.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. But on the other side, I've on episode 9 of Caped Crusader.
All right.
How far are you in that?
Well, again, I'm stalling, Jacob. Otherwise, I would have watched it all on day one. I'm waiting till I'm going to watch it all tomorrow.
All right. Well, I'm on episode.
Basically, I'm 2 episodes. I've watched 2 of it because I couldn't resist. I was going to wait till tomorrow for the rest of it.
Well, I got to episode. I'm about to start episode 9.
You're going to see how interested we are in this episode, by the way, folks.
Yes. Should we just move on to the next one now?
Yes, let's just do it. Let's just rip off the Band-Aid.
All right, lots of Latkes. How'd you feel about this one?
It's a slight improvement.
Yeah, this episode is just still, again, kind of boring.
Yeah. There's nothing really to it. I mean, maybe there's a few more laughs, but Carol Kane's in it. That's an improvement.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, there's some more. I'll admit that the premise is definitely a bit more creative and varied in this one.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's necessarily better. Like the way it interacts doesn't really make a lot of sense ultimately.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, you can probably see why there's the thing is I overblew how bad these episodes would be in my head based on my initial experiences with them, and I said they're not as bad as I thought, as I remembered, but basically in my previous viewings I did skip over these episodes. And you can probably imagine why.
Yeah.
Do you think these episodes are bad or just okay?
Bad.
Well, I'd probably go with in between.
Well, I'm saying if you give me one, if I'm picking between the two, I'm saying it's more bad than just okay. But you're right; it's probably somewhere a little more it's not great, not bad, not okay, not just okay.
I mean, it's not offensively terrible or anything.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not the finest. Again, it's not the night to record the album.
Yeah, it's or the week in this case, I guess.
There you go. It's not the week to record the album.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, they're just boring. They're just more boring, and sometimes that's worse. Sometimes that's kind of worse than being bad.
Yeah, you're a bore.
It's or you could say it's mediocre.
Mediocre. By the way, have you been seeing the anniversary? Here's where we're going to derail things yet again. Did you see the new anniversary SpongeBob Funko Pops, Jacob?
No.
They're really cool.
It's like, well, I saw like the pizza box one.
Yeah, you saw the Krusty Krab pizza one where he's doing like the kind of the, I guess the anime terms here would be like Super D. You know, he's doing like the whole like, you know, the.
He's doing this where he's singing the song.
That's what I'm saying. It's basically like in kind of like an animation pose where it's like the Krusty Krab, you know, pizza. Yeah, he's doing like the deep kind of like, you know, I love it specifically that, you know.
Yeah. Like, Code Geass, there's an argument to be made, though, that the episode where Candace gets unfairly grounded is the worst episode. Obviously, speaking of Candace gets busted.
Well, that's an unsatisfying ending, though.
Like, the rest of the episode is good.
Yeah.
It's you know, Candace party, and all that.
Yeah.
But the ending is kind of just kind of more of it just has more of a downer, unfair ending for Candace.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just where I'm coming from. The rest of the episode,
that's a dissatisfying ending, but not a bad episode.
The episode where these are just you know, kind of just boring throughout the board.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, Code Geass, you're allowed to have that opinion. This is just obviously this kind of recap. We throw in our own personal opinions about these episodes, and those for Dragon Knight just happen to align on these ones just being kind of boring.
Yeah.
People also aren't big on Mission Marvel. Well, the thing is, I actually do like the episode. I can imagine why some people wouldn't like it, and obviously, Dragon will probably have a reason to have a thing against it as well.
We'll see how I feel about it, but it has one big thing going against it before I've even seen it, so we'll see how that goes.
I will say it's not the best of the hour-long episodes,
but that's not what I want to hear about a Marvel crossover.
I mean, but I'm just saying, I still find it. I wasn't done yet. I still really enjoy it, though. But it's like if there are other hour-long episodes, I like. I said I think I like Night of the Living Pharmacist, Summer Belongs to You, and like, wait a minute, that's like Night of the Living Pharmacist, and the Star Wars episode.
Really, it took you that long to think of Star Wars?
It's like no, I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
But yes, I would put those above at least put those above the Marvel one.
Did it careen into Imagination Land?
No.
Okay.
It's like, but yeah.
All right, anyway, so let's talk Latkes. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Different Latkes. All right, so Isabel and company, they're helping Nana Shapiro.
Carol Kane, which is nice.
Yeah, yep. Hence my Latka reference.
Yep.
Which I wonder how intentional that might have been.
I mean, it's entirely possible.
Anyway, so
there are no potatoes in the tri-state area to make these things.
Yeah, so the problem is there's no potatoes. What you got to know, just to go on a brief tangent here, because I've been rewatching the show for the umpteenth time on the weekends. Reminded me of a Get Smart episode. I haven't gotten to it again on my rewatch, but there's this, which for the umpteenth time I know the episode at the back of my hand. It's the Red Baron episode. Anyway, so basically, ultimately, Master Smart, much like Snoopy and the Red Baron, he ends up kind of in like a World War I biplane going up against Siegfried. Anyway, before that, the whole reason for that is that Siegfried is using the old World War I kind of like basically using like a crop. He's using it as a crop duster, and basically against the potato crop. So because of the whole, basically, there's this gag where he's been unleashing like a bug, and the bug has been eating the inside of the potato, so it's like an empty skin. And control, basically secretly, until they can stop them, what they've been doing for the places that have been hit, they've been replacing the potato crop with the substitute, which essentially is like flavored foam rubber.
Oh God.
Regardless, it's just the fact that this whole thing about like the disappearing potato crop reminded me. So the tri-state area is you're missing potatoes.
Where are you watching Get Smart anyway?
DVD.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was like streaming on it.
Well, it's the darndest thing. It's like if you say like, "Hey, where's it streaming?" You might have someone say HBO. It's not on HBO. It's not anywhere. You have to probably buy it on Amazon or something.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I just started.
By the way, Jaime the Robot, very much a dead ringer for Norm.
Yeah, I've been right now on Amazon. Obviously, I'm watching Cape Crusader, and let's just say they didn't pick very good places for the ad placements.
No, they didn't. 2 episodes, I know that.
It's like they can literally be in the middle of speaking a sentence, and then you get an ad.
At least Invincible broke it up a little.
Yeah. Like they could be speaking, and then all of a sudden, like they could be mid sentence and then ad.
I'll tell you what baffled me about The Boys. Okay, The Boys.
The Boys.
Yeah, so not those boys. The show, The Boys, on Amazon for the kids out there.
Yeah. Which kids should not be watching, by the way.
Well, you're right. They shouldn't be. They will. They shouldn't be. Anyway, so there was this. So the thing is, like, because The Boys is very much Amazon's bread and butter in terms of their big, mega successful show. They did this marketing push where basically they were sponsored. It was like some sort of sponsorship thing where basically The Boys will be presented ad free, due to yada yada yada, and all the ads play at the start of the episode, so then you can watch it ad free. Which I think, why don't they do that for all their shows? That's a perfect middle ground. Do it like Peacock. Put all the ads up front. Anyway, so episodes 1 through 7 do that. Finale, now that they know everyone's absolutely going to check it out, ads.
Yep.
Stupid. Just stupid.
It's like saying Gritty Reap ad break.
Yep. It's Gritty Rebels. This podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. You know.
Yeah. We're not sponsored by BetterHelp, by the way.
No, we're not.
It's like we don't have any sponsorships as of yet.
No, we don't. I mean, in a perfect world, we'd be sponsored by Audible, but we're not.
Yeah. I love how Recap-inator is turning into a review of Amazon's ad system. Well, at least this episode is, and considering these episodes, there's not much else to talk about.
That's what I'm saying. If we actually like recap this, it's gonna be over in 5 minutes. So
yeah, they're out of potatoes, and Buford brings in a potato chip, and the boys decide to clone that to get potatoes.
And we end up with the potato gremlins that are all basically the offspring of Buford.
Well, it's like clone of Buford and potato.
You remember your way, I'll remember it my way, Jacob.
Well, one's more accurate. It's kind of like The Fly almost.
Yeah.
It's
it's a Fly directed by Joe Dante.
Kind of, yeah. It's like the clone the DNA combine the DNA of Buford and potato.
I still love that in Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they made Baxter Stockman, the Fly version of Baxter Stockman, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
God, I love that.
And in Mutant Mayhem, it's Gus Fring.
Yeah. Well,
Giancarlo.
Well, yeah, I'm saying Baxter Stockman is, but in terms of the Fly hybrid, they kind of went a different route with it. Which I still think was a mistake, by the way. I still think, they really should have just made, like, Baxter Stockman the Fly instead of, like, the Fly offspring thing.
Jeff Goldblum isn't in the film. I think he meant, like, inspired by Jeff Goldblum.
I mean, yeah, he sees someone's doing a Jeff Goldblum voice, like an impersonation of Jeff Goldblum for the Fly, and he's patterned off of Goldblum in that movie. It's basically what if Baxter Stockman was Goldblum.
Which is an interesting idea.
I love that Ninja Turtles Batman crossover, man. They did it really right.
Plus, where else would you get to hear Batman saying "pizza time"?
Yeah, and Cowabunga.
Exactly.
He said the words. Also, Ra's al Ghul, man, freaking Ra's al Ghul
and the Shredder.
Yep, such an awesome team up.
We need a sequel to it.
Yes, we do. I don't think it's in the cards, but yes, we do.
Come on, Warner Brothers and Nickelodeon.
Yeah, as I'm saying, I think that was just like a 1 in a million shot. I don't think it's going to happen again.
But it should.
It should. Won't, but it should.
Exactly. Again, you can probably see why our minds are wandering so much this podcast.
All right, anyway, so, okay, let's talk about something vaguely interesting.
Doofenshmirtz?
Yeah, Doofenshmirtz. He wants a Spartan Army.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, well, Kogias came up with a good idea. He would have Karai meeting Talia.
Yeah,
That would be a genius idea.
that would be.
But as we're saying, like, he wants a Spartan army, and apparently he's been behind on bills because his previous inator, the covered in gold inator, didn't work.
See, that's what I'm saying. That part's really funny. It's also a weird joke that Major Monogram, he's got eyes for Charlene.
It's like, but I must say, one handsome woman.
There you go.
It's like, not that I pay attention to that. He's trying to deny it.
Isn't Monogram married?
Yes, I guess, but maybe, who knows? I don't know. Yes, he technically is married, but I guess complimenting someone else's appearance isn't exactly cheating. I don't know.
Do you know what time it is, Jacob?
Yes, I do, Dragon.
It's
Grady
reboot
time. Yeah, we're really out of sync on that one.
Yeah. All right, kids. Let me tell you what's really going on in the Gritty reboot.
Oh, God.
Major Monogram's in an unsatisfying marriage, and he's while keeping tabs on the Flynn Fletcher family and Doofenshmirtz, he's wandering. You know, the eyes are wandering. He sees like Charlene. This is like again, he has to revolve around her goings on, and it's like, you know what, I think she could do better. You know, she's single, she's attractive, she reminds me of Allison Janney. And he wants to, you know, he's thinking, you know, why not? We'll stick it in the Doof's crawl, so, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, there's some marital discourse in Phineas and Ferb in the Gritty reboot, you know. There's there's going to be a lot of discoveries there. I'm sure Doofenshmirtz isn't going to be happy. Like, wait, Charlie, who are you on your date with? Major Monogram.
That's less Gritty reboot and more sitcom cliche.
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be more of a sitcom cliche than anything else.
And of course, the moment, like, you know, Vanessa says he calls Monogram dad, that's when Doofenshmirtz is going to murder him.
There's the Gritty reboot.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You know, Major Monobrow, I was listening, and I heard what she called you. I'm the daddy.
Oh, God.
Then basically rips the Monobrow off.
And that's all he does.
It's like, oh, of course I've learned your lesson, but I love Charlene, and he rips off the mustache.
It's like my personality.
And if you don't stop, I'm taking Carl.
Then he just continues. Then he just continues anyway.
Yep.
It's like he's like, "Do you promise?" Then he just, then he just continues doing. He's like, "Well, you asked for it." And then Carl
and Carl's like annoying Norm, and even Norm's like, "Oh, dang it, Carl!"
Dang it, Carl. By that magic, Vanessa would end up becoming one of his friends, would end up being very distant business partners with her. Yes, very much so.
All right, let's see. Okay, so again, the point being, Doofenshmirtz has this whole like 10 greatest historical traps, which basically is on a history kick, and he wants an army, so he wants a Spartan army, puts on a very revealing, you know, kind of 300 inspired costume.
Yeah. Like, believe it or not, Doug, you know how like last week's episode we saw Doof in his underwear? It's surprisingly common this season.
I think Pablo's trying to tell us something.
Just like yeah, it's like apparently this season, like we want to see more of Doofenshmirtz in his underwear.
Yeah, because America demanded it.
Yes.
It's like when Kramer was in his underwear on Seinfeld. It's just like, you know what, it just feels right.
Yeah, sure.
Seriously, I was kind of bold back then, like having like a primetime sitcom.
I
one
mean,
of the main characters and like revealing tight underwear.
I don't doubt that.
So I bring that because I'm reading Michael Richards' book and he kind of talked about it.
It's like the '90s were a different time.
Yeah, he's got a really good book, by the way.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, I mean, there's something I could tell you, man. Like about there's a lot of reveals about his childhood. Like something shocking happened.
Well, you might have to tell me later then.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's like so he fires up the historical army-inator, and he summons the Mongol army.
by mistake,
Yeah.
they're very hungry and they want potatoes.
Yeah, and instead of just like retrying and trying to get the Spartan army, he instead decides to go out and get a Genghis Khan costume.
Which apparently they do take potatoes for in trade.
Yeah, which is convenient for him because he bought up all the potatoes. He's the one who obviously bought up all the potatoes in the area.
Yeah.
And Buford and Baljeet are left to distract the other people in the elderly folks' home. At first
with sock puppets, which seemingly doesn't work, but you never know.
Yep. And then they decide to kick it up into a full-blown musical number.
Top Hat and Tails, probably not the Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, or just standard vaudeville stuff.
I know. Look, it's vaudeville. I'm just saying, it vaguely reminded me of like Young Frankenstein. I don't know. I just want to throw it out there.
I mean, technically, it's called Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein.
It's like I know he calls him. It's like remember, Dragon. It's Frankenstein.
Oh, actually, Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's like my name is Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So technically, he does go back to Frankenstein.
He does, yeah. But where's the fun in that, Jacob?
I know, Dragon. I'm just saying technically.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, Dan and Swampy's other show pretty much has a straight up reference to Young Frankenstein.
Well, yeah. How can you not?
Yep. So yeah.
All right. Anyway, so Baljeet and Buford, they're dazzling the old folks.
Whereas, sorry, I just choked on some water.
What's the opposite of water's purpose?
Yes, I know, Dragon.
Anyway, so then we have like the Linda. By the way, so Candace and Linda they've been biking together, and they're giving chase to potato gremlins. And then we have the word. Here's why this up. Here's a mark against the episode. The dumbest way in which Linda does not see what's happening.
Yeah.
Which again, I mean, half of that is like barely something like that has to do with the boys. Like they didn't summon the army.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Linda gets like a newspaper on her face, and she's reading the newspaper. It's on her face instead of looking, which is like, come on.
Yeah, it's like I said, these episodes don't have the best pairings and like the best intersectionality.
Nope.
It's like if there's one standout thing about this pair of episodes, that's the song. Yep, like that's why we chose that as the thumbnail. Basically, right, Dragon?
Yep.
Because it's like the best. I say it's the best thing to come out of these two episodes is Buford and Baljeet's song. I mean, it's actually the first time they've sung together by themselves and not part of a group. So yeah. So what do you think of like the boys' invention having a hot tub built into it? I mean, just like there's like hand waves, and then there's like it's like the question is, why wouldn't we build a hot tub into it? There's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't build a hot tub into a device that clones potatoes.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's part of the joke, obviously, but
Yep.
It just doesn't really land. It just really doesn't land.
Nope. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's see. So the Latka festival was a success, despite there being no Latkes.
Yeah, because it was fun, according to them, and ended with the
Apparently, old people love sock puppets.
and also The Mongol army.
Yep, big hit. Anyway, Doofenshmirtz gets zapped back in time with the Mongol army.
Back to ancient Mongolia.
Yep, this is Mongolia.
Is that a reference to something?
Yeah.
Like, what is it? I don't remember the reference.
The Monsters Inc. teaser, the teaser trailer.
It's Mongolia. like, oh, sorry, I told you with my one eye.
That's another tradition with Pixar. I mean, we still kind of have it, but it's more like the modern trailer thing where we have clever teaser trailers still, but like that's like back then that was like them experimenting with it. So, like the final product wasn't even there. That was just them still figuring it out. That was just them testing it.
And just says like it's coming. So here you go.
I love that. I just love that. I mean, I remember the Nemo teaser. Remember, it was like it was Marlin just kind of like it was like the test of him swimming on the floor of the ocean. And let's see, there's that. And of course, the most famous one, The Incredibles. You had Bob Parr trying to get his belt on.
It's like maybe just a salad.
Yep.
Like he wasn't actually portrayed that way in the movie, which is kind of interesting.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. It's kind of nice that we. That's what I'm saying. I love like the kind of the growing pains of the teaser, which is saying I really respect. Which, of course, now it's not so much like it's more of like, okay, here's kind of a clever teaser without telling you what's in the movie, which is kind of what a good teaser does, but not like I long for the experimental teaser because. One of my favorite things in the making of the Pixar films is just like the kind of the trial and error of figuring out the story, which usually has a happy ending. In the case of Lightyear, is kind of like, oh man, we could have gone that way with it.
Yeah, basically, Dragon. Do you know what I've gotten out of this conversation? this entire episode tonight, and I realize I haven't gone back to the episode title like in the last 30 minutes.
Oh,
so it's like the gritty reboot for the. But that's not the thing. But that's not the thing I was talking about. But
what?
Do you know what I've realized?
What have you realized?
I need to watch The Incredibles again.
Yeah, you do. Well, yeah, this is the year to do it.
I want to watch The Incredibles again.
This is the year to do it, Jacob.
20th anniversary, right?
Yeah, October.
It's like, are we gonna do something about it?
Yes, we are. We're most likely still going to do it in October. I just don't know if we're going to contemplate doing it earlier, but I think we're just going to stick with October. I don't want to nail the date down. We are going to do something for The Incredibles. I just don't know precisely when, but it'll probably be around the actual anniversary.
Yeah, but basically this entire conversation just led me like, I need to watch The Incredibles again.
Yeah.
Or at least watch the bonus features again.
Yep.
Or watch Mr. Incredible and Pals. Oh God!
Oh yeah, I know what I got to show you. I meant to show you, Jacob. I know what I'm going to do after this. I'm going to send you that. I'm going to send you this clip about the making of The Incredibles.
I've probably already seen most of the
stuff. No. This is not that one. This is the round table they did for the anniversary a couple of years back.
All right.
Like not the one that's on the original DVD. Is the thing they did on the re-release of the DVD.
I mean, that's where we got used the whole buffalo.
Yep, we use every part of the buffalo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember? Actually, I sent you. I sent you the whole. Do we like this? That's where it's from.
All right. Yeah. If I have to send it again, then.
All right, I'll send it. I'll send it to you.
I mean, it's probably lost in our chat somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know how far back I'd have to scroll to find it.
Here's now, I like sending it to people. Just wait for an opportunity where I'm asking for like feedback, and it's like, do we like this?
Well, now's a good time.
Yeah. Anyway.
And that movie has definitely an interesting history, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Considering how it started off at Warner Brothers.
Yeah. And in 2D.
Before it became Pixar 3D. Or CG.
Yep. Anyway.
And which reminds me, we need news on Ray Gun.
God, yes.
Where is
I'm so hyped for Ray Gun. It's just I'm dying for information on Ray Gun. I'm not joking. The biggest thing with Ray Gun. I want to know if it's going to be 2D or 3D or 3D made to look like 2D. I want to know what the heck's going on with Ray Gun. Darn it.
Well, we'll find out soon, I guess. I mean, Who knows? I
Yep.
mean, all we know now is that it's going to Netflix.
Wait, really?
All of Skydance stuff is going to Netflix for the foreseeable future. That's where Spellbound's going.
Real? I didn't know because I thought it was just still going to Apple TV Plus.
Nope, Netflix.
Okay, that's okay.
And that,
That's
because
better.
I think they made an. I mean, who with the whole Paramount deal that might change. I don't know.
Oh boy. Anyway,
Like you heard, obviously you know about the Paramount deal. So
what specifically is the Paramount deal?
the fact that Skydance is like supposedly might acquire Paramount.
Oh. No,
Like,
I didn't hear about that.
not the animation, obviously not the the whole Skydance studio itself might be
Yeah,
acquiring.
no, wait, so you said they're going to acquire Paramount, not Paramount acquiring them.
From what I understand, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's see. So,
So that might change. So that might change things, but I guess that'd be something you and Tiki talk about on memoirs.
what was it revealed this month?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, actually, by if this month you mean July, then yes.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. I meant like so. This was revealed in July.
Yeah.
Well, that's look. I want to bring it up, but I don't know if it's going to make the cut for the news. But we'll see.
Well, it's definitely interesting nonetheless. I don't think
it is interesting. So
I mean, I don't think it's been entirely finalized. I think it's more like a proposed acquisition.
that's the thing. I don't know if it's in the proposal stage. I don't think we can talk about it. But you know.
But even still, it might or might not happen. So and who knows? That might affect things that might affect how Ray Gun is distributed on either Netflix or in theaters.
Yep.
So
anyway, so then we have our post-credit gag.
Yep, like one of the few this season actually. It's like where this archaeologist like uncovers this thing in presumably Mongolia, detailing like the Mongol warriors' war against sentient potatoes and an evil scientist.
By the way, before we get out of here,
Yeah.
I wanted to make a Freakazoid reference earlier. I want to make it now.
All right, lay it on me.
Okay.
It's been a long time since we've had our Freakazoid reference.
Yeah, so the episode was so disinteresting. I forgot to bring it up earlier when you mentioned the Goldinator. So the Goldinator.
Well, it's just like covered in Goldinator.
Yes, the covered in Goldinator very much reminds me of Jeepers from Freakazoid. You remember, Jacob? You remember what Jeepers does, don't you?
Because I was thinking of Candlejack when he's like says your name, you disappear.
Oh no, that's the candle. Yeah, that's Candlejack. We're talking about Jeepers. Jeepers is in the first episode of Freakazoid.
I don't remember what Jeepers does.
Jeepers.
Is he the one like it's like where he like Freakazoid calls him a creep or whatever?
Yes, that's him. So
like, no, get out of here, you creep!
Do you know why he's yelling at him?
I don't remember now.
Okay. So Jeepers, we introduce him so randomly, then we bring him back at the very end of the episode. Jeepers, he has a watch. He has a mystical watch that has the ability to turn beavers into gold.
It's like, leave the beavers alone.
We have this beaver. Would you like to see something strange and mystical? No! Leave the poor beavers alone, will you? We were all having a good time until you shut up here, Jeepers. Go get some coffee with some cream in it or something. Sheesh.
Oh God.
And again, just Paul Rugg just improvising, just having a good Here's the initial line was like, "No, leave the poor beavers alone, will you?" And then everything else was just
just him going off on it.
Was just him going off on him, and just the fact that he's like crawling away as he's being ranted at by Reese.
Oh God.
And best part,
yeah,
we bring Jeepers back in season 2.
I haven't seen that one.
And yeah, he's paired with Richard Mall, Two-Face from back in the animated series, as like a giant Cthulhu creature, and they have like an old married couple. It's hilarious.
Oh no!
like Jeepers.
Of all the Steven Spielberg cartoons to get a reboot, that one hasn't gotten one yet.
And sadly never will.
That's the one that needs to be rebooted. I mean, it'd be better now more than ever.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, what do you think, Dragon?
I mean, that's the thing without it's like, without Cosgrove, I don't know. But I mean, we'd have to get someone else. I don't know how I feel about that. The only person I could see in the Cosgrove role would be Jonathan Banks, but I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
It's the only person I could see in that role.
It's like, hey, don't act.
Yep, just Jonathan, just come in, just don't act. It's like, so what? You want me to say double chubby boy? Like, yes, exactly that. Just Jonathan, just read the lines off the paper. Just don't act.
Double chubby boy.
You know I was nominated for an Emmy, right? Just like, no, Jonathan, we know that. Just don't act.
I mean,
right, fine.
So was Ed. Ed won a couple Emmys too.
Yep.
And they're just like, hey, don't act. And then like, hey, cut it out.
Hey, cut it out.
And the thing is, when Cosgrove tells you to cut it out, you cut it the heck out.
Hey, Freakazoid, you want to go Spumoni Ice Cream Land?
Yes. It's like, when Cosgrove tells you to cut it out, you cut it out.
Yep. Like, hey, Freakazoid, don't eat so fast. Your tummy's gonna get all irpy.
Basically, just made him to just read these most ridiculous lines.
Yep, the whole like, hey Cosgrove, why didn't you get married? Because I like meat too much. You can be married and eat meat, right? This is like
I didn't know that.
The whole like the food dehydrator. Where's the meat? It's like you have to buy some. Shoot. Like, hey, what would you like, Cosgrove? I want a cup of coffee and a can of hash.
Oh my god, he doesn't act, and it's hilarious.
That Carrie Fisher's a real cutie pie.
Oh god, it's like that show needs to be on HBO on Max or something.
It's a crime that is not streaming. It's insulting to me.
Yep, you have it on DVD though, right?
Yes, I do, very proudly.
Yes, and unfortunately, I don't have that luxury.
Yeah,
I wonder I don't know if you can even buy it on there either. But
yeah, you can buy it on Amazon. In terms on DVD, yeah, you can buy it on DVD. However, it is a lot harder to come by. You can buy one. I think it's season 1 you can find. Seasons is harder to get now.
Can you at least buy it streaming? Like buy it to stream off Amazon?
Yeah, that's the thing. You can. Yeah, that's the thing. You can buy the episodes individually if you'd like, and you can buy the DVD. Just one of them's more accurately priced than I think the other one. The other one might be more expensive because it's harder to find or something like that.
It's a shame.
But look, honestly, if you go on eBay, you're probably gonna be able to find it a lot better than Amazon in that case. So I mean, it's out there, and it's not impossible. It's just like not easy as it used to be.
Yeah, this episode's gone on for an hour, and like only half of us actually talking about the episodes themselves.
Well, you know what? That's what they get. This is not their week. You know,
I'm not complaining, Dragon.
It's not their week, so they've surrendered their recap time. I'm sorry, Dan and Swampy, you've surrendered your recap time because of the quality of these episodes.
I mean, like I said, yeah, not much to talk about.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Dragon, I have had a lot of fun talking about this one. Mainly because of all these tangents that we go on. It's like, see, folks, this is why we have tangents in the first place.
Yep.
Sometimes they can spice up an otherwise boring episode.
Yeah.
Where we spend like the last 10 minutes talking about Freakazoid.
Yep, says Code Geass anime fan.
Yeah, it's like, this is turning into my favorite episode. Ironically, the parts that weren't about the episode have been the best parts. Yep. I kind of have to agree. It's like remember, Cosgrove has the power to even make the Warner siblings behave.
That he does.
It was in a comic, nonetheless, but he told them to cut it out, and they cut it out.
Well, of course. Who's going to say no to Ed Asner?
It's like, exactly.
Well, Superman, but that doesn't count.
It's like, well, that was also a different Ed Asner.
That's what I'm saying. That doesn't count. It's a multiverse of Asner. Yes. It's infinite Asner.
Kind of Cosgrove, but who can say no to Cosgrove? Literally no one.
Exactly.
He has superpowers and he doesn't even know it. He can just say, "Cut it out,"
Yep.
and they just cut it out.
I want to soar like an eagle.
Oh god.
Oh no, here's a wacky idea for you. Okay.
Yeah.
What if Cosgrove did? What if Ed Asner did like the version of that Shatner? Remember when Shatner did his album and he basically he spoke all the words to the songs?
Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine that with Ed Asner, one of the songs was "Fly Like an Eagle."
I'm gonna fly like an eagle to
into the
sea.
future.
To the sea. Fly like an eagle. Let the spirit carry me. I'm gonna fly.
There you go.
Fly right into the future.
Yep.
That would be hilarious, actually. They should have had Ed Asner sing as Cosgrove.
Well, we did. We've had him sing as Carl Fredricksen though.
I know. Yeah. Where did he sing as Carl Fredricksen?
Yeah, he sang as Carl Fredricksen in the Doug and Carl the Doug Days shorts. It was the one where he has the flower on his head. I think it's the fireworks episode. I think which God, I'm trying to remember if the fireworks episode was the last episode or not.
Technically, I think Carl's first date was meant to be.
But that's what. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that was separated though. If you watch it on Disney Plus, they chopped it out.
That was meant to be the last one, and then they turned it into a theatrical short for Elemental.
Yeah, it was a good call. Just not the fair point. Regardless, the penultimate episode, most likely, was the fireworks episode, and
but most things never got him to sing as Cosgrove.
Yeah.
It's too bad we never got to see it as to play Granny Goodness in a live action film.
Yeah, now if they do it, it's going to be like AI or deep faked or something.
Unless they get someone else to play him. Play her, I mean.
I love that we got Ed Asner to play Perry White once in one of the animated Superman movies, an All-Star Superman.
And also, obviously, it's kind of funny because he was also J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, he was. The last 15 minutes have basically us talking about Ed Asner now too.
Well, honestly, we could do a whole hour on Asner. Just like
we could.
We could very easily. I mean, oh my God, the man's body of work. Seriously, folks, Ed Asner just a wonderful and fascinating human being and a very accomplished actor. Again, did so much without, again, sounding so similar through all these roles, but he brought, that's an actor's actor there for you. That's a guy who
people even said it was a crime that he actually never got a Best Actor nomination for Up.
I would agree with that.
And basically people said if anyone ever deserved a Best Actor nomination for a voice role, it was Ed Asner in Up.
I'm just saying 2009 was a slow year anyway. Up really should have cleaned up a lot more at the
awards, yeah.
At the awards, Seriously, I mean, the fact that it was nominated, it's like, look, I don't care what anyone says, all right? I don't care how successful Avatar was financially. I don't care how, the Hurt Locker, being like timely and, war bound or whatnot. It's just the fact that, Up is like still like in this, I believe this year is like 15th anniversary for Up, right?
I think so, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. 15 years later, it still has left a mark, and it's still just like, it's a testament. That is like the ultimate tribute to Ed Asner and just the man's career. And it was while he was still around, and it's him like delivering, possibly his finest performance. And I love that a lot of movies like kind of a fusion of just like with his performance, it's great. Even without his performance, as a short film with the opening, practically. So much is conveyed, and that helped boost his performance even more. It's like already you're gonna love anything this character does based on that opening, and then when the first words out of his mouth are in the voice of Ed Asner, it's like we're in like Flint, man. We are in such good shape for the rest of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, anyway.
We could talk hours about that. And obviously you guys already did when you did the In Memoriam about him.
Yep.
I would say he was gone too soon, but I would say he actually lived a pretty full life.
He did.
So,
He had quite the adventure.
yep. But unfortunately, his adventure had to come to an end.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, we should probably end this episode while we can.
Yeah, we should.
I mean,
the moral of the story is Dan Swampy, take notes, watch Ed Asner related media.
like, Dragon, did we learn anything this episode? Probably
value the potato crop.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
That's about it.
Yeah. And don't mix it with Buford.
No.
And be sure to summon the right army if you want to have an army.
Or at least have spare army costumes ready.
Yeah. Did Ed Asner
also shield your eyes when Doofenshmirtz puts on a costume because it's going to be revealed. It's going to be too revealing.
Did Asner ever appear? No, he did not.
Dan Swampy. Commercial break. Sorry.
This episode is brought to you by Liquid IV.
This podcast is brought to you by Magic Spoon.
And whatever other advertisements that are reaching out to every YouTuber and podcaster ever.
Wouldn't it be great if like the actual ads that played during the Take Now were Magic Spoon ads?
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
Yeah. We're probably not ever going to get a sponsor. Unfortunately.
No, heck no.
It would be nice. But either way. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And you guys seem to say you enjoyed it. Aqua Ted remembers saying this was his favorite episode.
So either being extremely polite or he really meant
it. Yep. It's I think he meant obviously he meant us talking about this, considering we barely talked about the episode at all. So yeah. I don't know if this says about our commentary, or I guess it talks more about the episode itself than our commentary on it.
Yeah.
At least I hope so. So anyway, thank you, Code Geass, Lockwood Ted. We briefly had Little Blue and Sonia Pantoja here. So thank you all for joining us. And be sure to join us next week for another episode, which I will mention, Dragon, we did decide to do the Christmas episode at a later date, right?
You have the final decision on that, Jacob. But yeah, I think that's where we were leaning towards. You said you'd think about it. So what have you thought about?
Well, I think we're gonna save the family Christmas episode for a later date. Either save it for December or the next Christmas in July. So make sure to join us next week when the boys go after a crocodile and get into your TV. Good night, everybody.
Potato.